And we are back in the Charlie Wilson KitchenAid kitchen with Chef Brandi Alexander, who's showing us another healthy dish that you can find in abundance in your produce market and working on getting your grocery bill down as well. Now we're tackling, what, a cabbage slaw.
Cabbage.
Yes.
And you know, cabbage gets such a bad rap.
Again, all these items get a bad rap.
It can stink, it can be gross, but it can be delicious and flavorful if you treat it correctly. And you can get a whole head of cabbage for $1 right now.
Right.
You know, you're spending pennies.
You can get multiple servings out of this,
Yes,
if not
yes.
for lunch, dinner, or take it for the next day
I
for
just
lunch.
brought a small portion of what the heads of cabbage brought me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we're going to do an apple cranberry slaw today. This is not a mayonnaise-based slaw. I'm not fond of it. It's a vinaigrette. It's great because it has more flavor. It lasts longer in the fridge. It doesn't get watery, and you can serve it outside even when it's warm and not worry about it. So we're going to take about 3 cups of green cabbage and 3 cups of red cabbage. You can use all of one color if you want. It just looks beautiful with both of them mixed together. You can buy this shredded in a bag if you want, but it's going to be sweeter and more tender if you shred it yourself, you know. We're going to add a few just shredded carrots in here. You can shred them yourself or buy a bag of shredded carrots. I've got 1.5 Honeycrisp apples here. Any of your favorite apples you can add in, and you want tons of them. You want it to have a pretty good ratio.
It'd be good with a green apple too.
Yes, it would, or you know, half and half.
Yeah.
I'm doing dried cranberries. You can also do dried cherries or raisins if you prefer, but the cranberries go really well with the apples. And we're gonna add in a few pepitas, some roasted salted pumpkin seeds. If you prefer sunflower, you can, but it gives it a nice other little crunch. We're gonna add a little bit of our Kinder seasoning blend. You still wanna season that cabbage. You can add this to all kinds of different flavors. Now, if you wanna make your own homemade vinaigrette, I have a honey citrus vinaigrette on my page, but also this stuff tastes excellent with it. It is a raspberry walnut vinaigrette. It's a Ken Steakhouse. They have a regular and a light version. The light version tastes exactly the same. It's sweet and acidic, gives it a great flavor. This is also something, you know, you can dress earlier that day or the night before. It's still gonna taste great. And all you're gonna do is mix that up. And like I said, you wanna be generous with the seasoning. Cabbage can take tons of seasoning. Kinda just soaks it up and uses all of it.
How do you get your slaw shredded so finely?
Listen, I've had so many fancy mandolins. I use a cheap $9 mandolin from Walmart. It's my favorite one. Yes, yes. I always go back to it, even when I have a fancier one. And then you have a delicious, sweet and savory slaw. And then my favorite over here.
And you don't need to refrigerate this. You can just leave this out and
yes, you need to refrigerate it, you know, to get it cold first. But yes, you can get it out. You can have it set out at a barbecue or something when it's warm outside. It'll be fine for a couple hours. It doesn't have the eggs that, you know, like in the mayo, so it's not going to go bad.
But maybe pop this in the refrigerator for, what, an hour?
About an hour. It'll be real cold,
Get all those juices up in there.
Next up are carrots. This is one of my very favorite carrot recipes. All I've done is taken some whole carrots and cut them into, you know, kind of French fry shapes. You know, whatever shape you prefer, but they need at least one flat edge on them. And then we're just gonna pour our oil on there. You can use vegetable, canola, or grapeseed. I have the avocado with me today. We're gonna season these up. Smoked paprika goes excellent with carrots.
What, really?
Excellent. I use them on most of my carrot recipes. Just be really careful with it because a little bit goes a very long way. We're gonna use a little bit of brown sugar. You can use a Splenda brown sugar if you want completely no sugar. Then we're gonna put a little bit of cumin on here.
Again, and then the heat that you're adding,
our Kinders.
The Kinders, right?
We're gonna give that a toss. And then this is where the magic of the carrots really happens, is what we're gonna do next. You wanna make sure they're really saturated in the seasonings all over and that the oils are really coated good all over them. We've got some grated Parmesan here. You need to either grate the Parmesan yourself or get the kind that's completely grated. Shredded's not gonna work quite as well.
Really fine too.
Yes, we're gonna take our carrot, smash it right in the Parmesan, stick some on top, smash it. And you wanna make sure you put it in the pan where there's a flat side going down. And you're just gonna repeat that with your carrots. We're gonna pop these into a 400-degree oven. It's gonna take about 12 to 15 minutes.
You want me to do one more?
Yes, you go ahead and I found out if you know, press them down and then press some of the cheese right on top. You need to make sure you have that oil on there so it sticks. We might have left these in there a little bit too long, but. And then the Parmesan just creates this delicious crispy crust. Woo, they're hot. Grab a fork. It gives them a unique flavor. My 3-year-old daughter calls them carrot French fries. They taste like fries, you know. You can dip them into
like sweet potato fries.
Yeah,
right?
they're great. And then they come out, you know, and you can see over here they're delicious and crispy.
Nice.
That cheese gives them a real nutty flavor, and you can turn someone who's not a carrot lover into one.
Well, listen, I have like a whole bag of carrots sitting in my refrigerator. This is another thing that these recipes are all really good for, is that we buy things with the intentions of making some recipe that I can't find the recipe for anymore. So I've got bags of carrots, broccoli, cauliflower.
And then what do you do
What
with
do you
them
do
all?
with them? You can do these great different recipes, and our kids are going to think
You know,
we're great because we came up with a new idea.
Another thing that has helped me this year, for those of you who let your vegetables go bad, I've taken all of my condiments out of my refrigerator door and put them in the back of the fridge or drawer, because you'll dig for a condiment, and my produce is now in my refrigerator door, where when you open it you can see them.
That's a great idea.
And nothing is rotting and going bad.
Right.
I see it every time I open it and think about what I'm going to do with my
There's
vegetables.
nothing more frustrating than you spent that money and you know how much money you spent at the grocery
It's buried in a drawer, and then you find a soggy bag of lettuce. Yes, but vegetables can be flavorful, they can be fun, they can still be healthy, and you can enjoy eating them and not feel like you're depriving yourself.
Counting down to those farmers markets open, aren't
Yes,
we?
I can't
This'll
wait.
get us through. Hey, for more information for all these recipes, she's going to have kind of the detail of the step-by-step in the recipe in your link tree as well, right, on
Yes.
Instagram. She's on TikTok and Instagram at chef.brandi. If you want to book her for catering and special events, cooking classes, all the fun things that come with spring, go to southern-flair.com.